I'm realizing that society is completely disassociated with the truth. Like, from that moment on in my life, I had a lot of trust issues with just normal people because I kind of wanted everyone to know about this, what I was going through, but at the same time, I wanted it to be my own. But I knew, like, from looking around the room when I'm tripping, that these people knew about it, but they're kind of fucking weird. They're kind of fucked up. The dude's doing a Beavis on the fucking, like, standing up fucking, yeah, and he's, like, just really high-strung, intense, and I'm like, not that dude, but I don't want to be that dude or associated with that dude, but I want this to be, like, a subculture to where it's an escape from the real shit, so...
Yeah, I mean, people have been doing psychedelics for a long ass time.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a new thing.
No, yeah, exactly. And I was just like, why was this hidden? Like, I was told this is terrible. I mean, going into it, I was like so afraid because of this. I mean, I'm not going to say that they should get rid of any programs to kids telling them not to do drugs. Sure. You can't tell a kid about your best acid experience or anything like that. You have to just don't demonize it as much, I guess.
Well, at the worst, I think they should at least be more open to, like, researching it, because there's, like, a lot of shit that they just don't know scientifically because they classify it as certain, just like they do with, you know, a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
And I think there are very, very few instances where knowing less about a thing does anyone any good. Like, worst case scenario, it's like, oh yeah, this is just good for getting high. Worst case scenario.
Yeah.
You know, best case scenario, they start finding it's a treatment for, I think they said, like,
PTSD,
split personality disorder type shit.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. Well, especially especially psilocybin. I'm sure LSD too, but they were doing LSD like shit in the military.
Right. Yeah, that's more like the whole MK Ultra thing.
Yep,
you know?
exactly. And there were people going crazy, but I'm not so sure if they were going crazy because they weren't privy to.
Well, they were probably using it as a method of torture, right? So it's like maybe that was the idea.
It was. Like, I don't know if it was that. I don't know if they're doing it as mind control or.
I thought it was like a torture thing, but I mean, who knows?
No, it wasn't. I mean, I'm sure that's been used for torture. Like if you watched Jacob's Ladder and shit with the, I don't know if you ever.
I do remember like the conspiracy is that it was a mind control thing, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
that's the MK Ultra stuff is like more mind control. I'm sure like they tested people who had no idea they were gonna start tripping because I mean when you do such rigorous tests like that, you have to go at all angles. You have to like. Tell people that you're doing it, and then you also have to see what it's like when these people have no idea something's gonna hit them, and then they do go crazy. They go crazy because
sure, dude.
They're like, why in the fuck am I feeling like this?
I fucking would if I didn't know.
But exactly. I would think I lost my mind. Like you have to fucking tell them, and that's why you need a guru. You need Beavis. See, that's another thing is like when you get into drug culture, you meet a lot of lost people, and then you meet a lot of fucking people who are in it just for a scene, and then you meet all kinds of weird people. In my experience is like every one of them was brought together by music, like metal or something like that, and then that just like it forms out of that. Then they start doing other harder drugs and shit because one of them's doing it. But like Jimmy's a good guy, like fucking he's my buddy. I'm gonna try it with him or just like stuff like that. I've always been drawn to strange people. I like the norm, like in school, like the social status shit. I just shied away from it, and I didn't like it. We didn't even have fantasy football back then, so it wasn't as like I played basketball and I watched sports a lot. I mean, I was that shit, but I wasn't the D&D type because those are like the next level where I could. Like fucking be a bully to him. I wasn't. I couldn't be a bully to my peers, like the people I hung out with. I wanted to stay there.
Right.
I could go down to the D&D people and beat them up, but I can't go above to the next echelon of social status because I'm gonna get jumped or beat up by the jocks or whatever. So I was like in between or whatever. But after doing acid, I realized that was all bullshit and. To this day, you see it. Like you'll go to the Roadhouse, when it's busy night, it's still like a social status thing. It's like fucking school all over again.
The guy punching the bag.
Yeah, the bag punchers, and people like you and I just pretty much predominantly we're just
Scowling
outside.
in the corner, yeah.
Yeah, we're just outside smoking because
Yeah.
the music's kind of fucking irritating.
Yeah.
And like I like to talk. You know, I don't want to smell someone's breath when I have to fucking get in their face, and I don't want to like I have beer breath and shit. I don't want to do that and inconvenience people.
Right.
But it's still like we're so ape-like still. We're so apish and we're so tribal but confused tribal to where genetically we are supposed to be tribal, but that's where the ape comes in, I guess, when you get around punching machines and shit and being like the king of, you have to, the alpha, you have to establish dominance, and you have to get that high score on the punching machine. You have to get, if you get less, I don't know, I've never done it, but I would say if you get less than 920, like
I don't even know what that means.
I think it goes up to 1,000.
920 what?
It goes up to 1,000. I know that. I saw a girl punch like 840, and everyone was like, "Holy shit!" So I think 840 is like the median for dudes. If you get out punched by a chick in the thing, you have to go back to the drawing board and think of another way to get pussy.
Okay.
You know, your social status is
I mean, I don't even know if I could reach that bag, so
oh
it's
yeah,
probably not my
you
game.
totally can. I've seen people fucking miss the bag and like punch the fucking wood and shit and crack, like fucking ruin their fist. It's like such instant karma and it's beautiful.
I don't know. I don't know how you can maintain your dignity and do that, like, because like, it is so ape-like.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, I mean, they're not self-aware. I mean,
I guess if you were like demonstrating some kind of skill, it's like, all right, whatever, that's impressive. But like, you're literally just punching a bag, like.
Zach, we're deviating.
Right,
I know you want to talk. I know you want to talk punching.
You got
machine.
me fired up about this.
I know. I'm fired up too, dude. I seriously, I don't know what they're called. I guess punching machines. I'm sure there's a name on the fucking thing or whatever.
It
like,
doesn't deserve one.
Yeah, it's like fucking king bag hitter or something. I don't know.
Bag puncher.
Bag puncher
2000,
2017. And now it fucking can tell you you're really good. It's updated. It's online too. Yeah, I can totally go on about that all night. But after my trip's wearing down, and I got Beavis over here still fucking feeling it and shit, taking other hits and shit, because this dude's fried, man. And I kind of do wish I met someone, I met a different crowd, but in the state I was in, I had to go for it and take it with whoever. I mean, that's probably what a virgin says with a gangbang too. But yeah. So when I came down, I just remember on the ride home, I was like, dude, this was fucking awesome. We gotta like do this instead of. Am I recording?
I don't know. Are you?
Yes.
All right.
Sweet.
That's
We got
good.
your punching bag stuff in.
Cool.
So I was like, you know, dude, let's do this next weekend. Dude, I want to fucking do this a lot. And Rob's like, yeah, dude, that was fucking sweet. And that's why I kind of figured, like, you know, maybe he was lying about doing it before. Maybe it was his first time. But I don't know. But I remember the next day, I lived in a trailer park. So I went over to my friends, and everyone was there, and I was like telling everyone, I was like, dude, fucking LSD is the fucking best thing ever. And they're like, dude, yeah, that's cool. I want to try it and shit. And then I just like instantly thought, I was like, these fucking dudes ain't gonna appreciate what I just went through. When they trip, it's gonna be fucking, you know, to play video games or just fucking
Like it's routine for them.
either that or they're just gonna like go fucking jump somebody or something. Because I hung out with a lot of fighters and shit.
Okay.
Yeah, it was weird. And, yeah, they also used to fucking like lace their weed with cocaine and stuff, which I never did. That's like too close to crack, but they used to do it. And then, you know, there's some of them that, you know, still they went on to crack and shit. But that's, I mean, whatever works for you, and that's fine. I'm not gonna judge anyone. Quit laughing. All right. So I was just like, yeah, it's the best thing ever, and I want you guys to fucking do it with me. And I didn't really think it through. And later on in life, I did trip with almost every one of those dudes, and that comes into play later on. which I've had a couple bad trips, and I'm going to explain that. In this next episode, I'm going to go through... I just told how psychedelics changed me and the good that it did for me, but there's bad, and that's coming up next episode, so